Part 2. I ended with maximum clonage. Now, in maximum clonage, yet again, they went overboard with the clones, but then they had like 5 special clones. First, you find yourself as Spider-Man thinking that you're a clone. So you go into a city, you twist a bomb that kills everybody except for you and Jackal. Peter Parker committed mass murder. That's right. On an unfathomable level, and he was the only one that survived in the entire city that he was in. It was just some small hick town that no one ever really gave a damn about until that happened. And he was just there. You know, he just twisted this damn bomb that Jackal gave him. And it basically was like an atomizer, and it just like wiped out everybody within 100,000 yards or whatever. He killed everybody in the damn city. Yeah, I think. For the most part, let's just go with it, killed everybody in the damn city. And he was sitting there, and Jackal was explaining to him. And then out behind him walked Spider-Side, who has the ability like Mr. Fantastic. There were some other spiders, I can't remember their names. And they all, it was like, wound up being 6 of them. And they all standing beside the Jackal and Spider-Man. And then you have, in the next book, you have Ben Reilly fighting for his life against Kane and trying to become the next Spider-Man, but he's still Scarlett Spider at the time. So by the end of Maximum Clonage, they started having debates. So there's like mad fights. Spider-Man wipes out all of the people that the Jackal did, and somehow or another, he skirts going to prison for mass murder. Okay, so we got that out of the way. So at the end of all that, Kane's messed up, Scarlet Spider is about to be the new Spider-Man, and Peter Parker is about to lose his powers. So, he bumps into Ben Reilly, and him and Ben Reilly, they go to Reed Richards. Reed Richards takes a blood sample. Reed Richards discovers that Peter Parker is an anomaly, so he assumes, because he's Mr. Fantastic, who apparently wasn't fantastic that day, he decides that Parker's the clone, Riley's the real McCoy. But Riley, in all the honor that he has, decides that he's going to be Ben Reilly, but he'll still be Spider-Man, not Scarlet Spider. He gives Parker the option of staying Parker and living with Mary Jane, who's standing right there the entire time. Because from what Ben Reilly knows, he never met Mary Jane. He was still in love with Gwen Stacy. That would later change when he would meet this chick while he was working in Hell's Kitchen. I can't remember her name. I honestly, truly cannot remember her name. I think she was white. She might have been Asian. I won't swear to that either. You guys can go Google that shit. Anyway, and it's probably all been retconned also. But anyway, so Ben Reilly now has a job as a dishwasher in Hell's Kitchen. So he's washing dishes. Peter Parker, still working for Jameson, still Jameson's favorite photographer, still freelancing. However, Peter Parker has made enough money to pay off Aunt May's house, because that's where him and Mary Jane moved back to, out of the city, into Mary Jane's house. Aunt May's house. She's pregnant with child. Ben comes by often, but Ben does the Spider-Man thing. Peter Parker does the photography thing. Spider-Man puts on a brand new outfit. Not this thing. He hangs up the Scarlet Spider outfit forever. But what does he do with it? He takes off the hoodie. He takes off the red suit and puts on a brand new blue and red suit. 2 of them, actually. Because one had the spider that went from his chest in the red, and the spider arms wrapped around and grabbed, just like one of the spider, the second version of the Scarlet Spider costume, where the vest, the spider's on this way, it's in this angle, and it connects to the spider on the back. It's a badass outfit. Anyway, that's not here or there. So he's in the new outfit. His old outfit's folded up in a corner, in a closet, in a box, at Aunt May's house, which is now Peter Parker and Mary Jane's house. Now Parker's starting to lose his powers. So he's going to go and talk to Reed Richards about that shit. Because it's not like Richards didn't know that he was Spider-Man after this whole clusterfuck. So then, that happens. And for the next 3 comics, for almost a year and some change, because Spider-Man Ben Reilly gets 3 comics, while Spider-Man Peter Parker gets 2. Which also wound up being retconned due to lack of sales and crap like that. So to bring everything full circle, Ben Riley finds out that something's wrong, but he's not losing his powers. His powers are actually increasing. Peter Parker is losing all of his powers, which he finds out while trying to save someone, I think. Again, this shit might have been retconned by now. He does eventually save the person, and then when his powers really are needed the most, they're gone. That's when he's jumped in an alley by Doc Ock, Vulture, and everyone else on the Sinister Six except for his Tombstone. And they beat the bejesus out of this boy. And he winds up in the hospital. So, this triggers a slight of a healing factor. Mary Jane is pregnant as hell. Aunt May is still alive. And they're all in the hospital watching him like a hawk. And Ben Riley comes into the hospital as Ben Riley. And he's talking to Spider-Man, a.k.a. Peter Parker. She's saying, like, what the hell happened? So, a few weeks later, after they all beat the crap out of Peter Parker, he's still in the hospital. And he goes into, like, a coma or something. And basically, his coma is just hibernating. His powers are about to come back with an extension. He's about to hit his peak level powers. So, everything he's done before was nothing compared to what strengths and stuff he's about to have. However, about that time, the Green Goblin attacks. So Spider-Man wakes up about 2 or 3 days before the Green Goblin attacks, actually. And Ben Riley's out there fighting. And they're fighting on the roof. And during the fight, Ben Riley looks down, and there is Peter Parker in his hospital guard. So he's like, what the hell are you doing here? You don't have any powers. I can't even help you. It's like, you can't help me. You don't have any powers. He's like, but I have my powers back. It's like, that's not possible. You're a normal human being now. It's like, watch this. So he's springing off walls and shit. And then the Goblin goes, 2 spiders for the price of 1. I finally know who you are, Peter Parker. And he's like, no, I'm not Peter Parker. He's Peter Parker. I'm the clone. And then by the end, they find out that Peter was wrong. Peter's always been Peter Parker. Ben Riley was the clone. And about that time, Ben Riley is totally impaled by the Goblin Glider, ending his 3 comic books and his career as a superhero forever. Except that shit might have been retconned. Then they started making alternate Spider-Man, and when I first found the Scarlett Spider, I thought that he was from an alternate universe, an alternate timeline, and no, he was not, but then they made it that way. So again, this shit might have been retconned. Yay, retconned. Anyway, going back to the Spider-Man being impaled thing, Spider-Girl was created. Spider-Girl will go on to wear Ben Riley's new Spider-Man suit. Granted, they must have sewed the shit out of it because she was kind of petite. And Mayday Parker had no business wearing that outfit. They should have gave her her own outfit, which the early designs probably for Gwen, Spider-Gwen, was probably made from Mayday. But then they kind of X-9'd her out of existence because she was retconned. Yay, retcon. Bastards. Anyway, Mayday Parker would have all the same powers as Spider-Man, and she and her father went out once or twice, but Spider-Man had a wooden leg because it was too much like right to go to Mr. Fantastic and give me some nanonites to fix my leg that the Green Goblin took away. Yeah, too much like right. That's the thing with people in the real world as well as apparently in the comic world. If it's too much like the right thing to do, no one will do it. I understand that. So, by the end of this thing, Ben Riley wound up being dead and staying dead. Mayday Parker wound up being retconned. I have no idea what her future lies. I'll have to go Google that shit. And Peter Parker wound up being Spider-Man again. Also giving up his marriage with Mary Jane to save Aunt May. That's not something that I would have done. If I had true love, trust me, I would not have gave up true love to save the soul of my Aunt May, the only mother figure that I have. Now, before I end this video, I'm going to talk about the 3 clones known as the Scarlet Spiders. So, from what I've read, there's a guy named KIA. That means killed in action, but it also says Kia. He's one rogue clone versus two of the other clones that was just like him who have all joined the New Warriors. That is pretty much all I can give you because KIA was like in Tennessee and in Kansas and some other places, and I'm like lost in the sauce. So, that being said, I'm going to end this video on a positive note, hoping that you guys will do some research into Spider-Man. Also, come see me in 2020 in February at GalaxyCon. Don't worry, I will be bringing nunchucks. I probably will have these gloves on though, so I'll stand out in the crowd. I'll definitely have red shoes, unless something goes wrong. So thanks for watching. This is Kung Fu Africa number 2. Be seeing you.